So Sean Lennon, Pro Wrestling Enforcer podcast, and I am very proud to announce our guest today on the show from Freelance Underground. We got James Caimioni, we've got Caleb, and we are talking about not only Freelance Underground, but also freelance wrestling as well. They are the promoters for Freelance Underground and work with Freelance Wrestling. James actually works with Freelance Wrestling. Your title is still
the Godfather.
Yes,
I'm the Godfather. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. You've been there a long time, and congratulations on the anniversary of Freelance. How does that make you guys feel?
It was good. Coming out of the pandemic, we didn't know what to expect, but the Freelance faithful are there for us, especially in Logan Square. So now we move on to the 30th at the Emporium for Press Start to Continue, featuring Bussy versus Laney and Jeff, GPA.
Definitely. And you guys also.
And then August 5th,
mm-hmm.
Mick Foley will be in the house, so looking forward to that as well.
Nice. And is there a particular reason why you got Mick Foley for this show? Because I know Frank the Clown is going to be irritated that he lost. Well, his man, he lost the Freelance Championship, right? Because he did own one of the Freelance Championship belts, and now Storm Grayson is wearing it. So is that a coincidence that there'll be someone to gloat in his face in the Hardcore Legend Mick Foley?
Needless to say, yes, someone will be there to possibly gloat in the face of fallen Frank and Robert Anthony.
Yes. Well, hey, quite the run they had, right? And they really did help to relaunch freelance wrestling, claiming the vacant championships, right?
Yeah, correct. Rob's been a cornerstone of freelance wrestling for a long time. So he got his just due, and he did the best job that he possibly could do given the circumstances of the world at the time. So kudos to him for everything he did for the last 9 months or so.
Yeah, quite the run, and obviously we had crazy moments, throughout that whole pandemic and leading up to Freelance coming to a big return. So talk about the year overall in 2021 and in 2022, because it was a more of an extension into 2022. So that's what I meant.
For me, it's been chaotic. 2 companies trying to produce 2 different shows with different talent featured. It's been chaotic. That's the best way I could say it. It's been chaotic. As far as Freelance is concerned, it wasn't a complete rebuild. It wasn't a complete redo. It was okay. Let's start to feature some of our guys versus always featuring somebody else's guys. So given the Bang Brothers, Pick and Pop, Angel Escalera, Xavier Sky, Trevor Outlaw. Sadly, he got hurt right in the beginning. Giving some of the Freelance Wrestling Academy students an opportunity to prove that, hey, we're just as entertaining as some of the people that we lost due to contract, due to AEW, due to Impact, stuff like that. So that's been a blessing coming back over the last coming back in 21 and continuing in 22. And we look to continue just doing what we do and putting on the shows that we put on. And same thing with Underground. Caleb and I work very hard to put these shows on, and we always are hoping to get the same just desserts as Freelance proper does. So, our cards are just as good. We may feature different talent now. The Bang Brothers have kind of moved up. They're freelance. So now that gives us opportunities to go, okay, hey, we still love Davey, we still love August, but maybe they'll be featured more singles now instead of tag, because they are the Freelance World Tag Team Champions now.
Yes, definitely, and congratulations to them. And how about that ladder match? And what was the challenges putting together that?
The challenge is the building was the challenge.
Right.
The bell, we did have a structure that we put together that was built that would have allowed the championships to be hung above the ring.
Mm-hmm.
The building saw it go up, and just as quickly as they saw it go up, it came right back down because they did not approve of the structure. So the Bang brothers, Pick and Pop, and Corbin and Bucky did the best they could, and I think they still pulled off a hell of a ladder match. Maybe the belts weren't hung above the ring, but the match was still just as good as it would have been if the belts were hanging.
Yeah, definitely agreed. And it was a first time ladder match, I believe, for the Bang Bros and Pick and Pop.
Yes.
Yeah. And obviously it helps that they have, a tag team, I would assume, in Corbin, Bucky, that had a previous experience of ladders.
Corbin is by far one of the biggest unsung veterans on the independent scene right now. Corbin's a hell of an individual, hell of a person, hell of a talent, hell of a veteran, hell of a locker room leader. So he definitely was able to put together that match to where it wasn't just high spot for high spot. It was actually a story told for all three teams involved. And they've been telling that story since September of last year. So in my opinion, they did a hell of a good job.
Definitely. Veteran Corbin, coming in, shining through. And I believe someone WWE ripped off his name. I can't help but believe that.
I'm not going to speculate.
Okay. But I'll call him Veteran Corbin because, he's a great veteran and love to see him back at Freelance. Obviously, they had a great run as the tag team champions, too. Did take it home records.
Right. And I mean, he was the Freelance champ at one time, too. So Darren Corbin's definitely respected, definitely one of our go-to guys when we need somebody to go to.
For sure. And yeah, the great show overall. Like I said, what do you think of the names that you brought in? Is there potential that they may return to Freelance one day?
You'll see Trey Miguel again. You'll see Effie all the time whenever he's available. Brian Keith's the legacy champ, so he's around for the long haul. Who else has been around? I mean, Danhausen got signed and got hurt. We have our guys that we're very loyal to, and roster changes always occur, and you'll just have to wait and see what happens starting in August.
Yeah, definitely. I know Trey Miguel, had Jason Hodge and Sam Beal come along for this one as well. So were you guys impressed by them? I know they're good friends with Trey Miguel.
I think they were trained by Trey Miguel, and I didn't get to really see enough of them in the trios match.
Right.
So will we bring them back again? Yeah, because I definitely want to see more of them with more time, different opponents. But the match they were in was still exactly what we expected, exactly where it needed to be on the card. So will they have another opportunity? I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it'd be crazy if Hodge took on Craig Mitchell one day.
Craig Mitchell, there's a name that we haven't talked about in a long time. Hi, Caleb.
Hello.
Just making sure you're still here, that you weren't frozen.
Definitely. Well, we'll switch things over to Freelance Underground, and Caleb, talk about what you've been doing, bringing in some of the female talent. I know that's your expertise. You've made a lot of connections with Shimmer, so talk about how you've been able to incorporate some newcomers onto the women's roster.
Yeah, you're definitely the pro at this.
I just, like I said, I'm always just, obviously now that Shimmer is kind of like hasn't been running for a while, there's nothing really on that front as much. It's kind of now you got to keep your eye out a bit more on the indie scene in general, just to kind of see who's emerging of sorts. And Sandra Moon was someone that we got tipped off on, and I was down in Dallas and just talked to her briefly, and she was excited about potentially coming in, and we actually we were trying to get her in for a little bit now. That's been an issue where she's just been booked, which is a good thing. I mean, it's nice to have people available when you contact them, but at the same time, if they're always booked, that's a good sign too that they're working regularly. So Yeah, I mean, obviously, Billy's someone that we've been using for a while, so we will continue to use her. Alice Crowley was a great discovery on our part. I mean, she'd already been around for quite a while. Started wrestling pretty young, but I couldn't be more happy with the inclusion of her into the shows as of late as well. You'll definitely see more from her. And then actually James was the contact for our other female on the upcoming show. So
Okay.
I guess if he would like to share his anything about that, I mean that was all him.
I've seen, I mean, during the pandemic, saw a lot of Catalina Perez on AEW TV, and I was like, oh, not bad. It'd be cool to have her. No one else has used Catalina Perez in the Chicagoland area or the Midwest, as far as I'm aware. So she actually had hit us up, and I was like, oh, actually, was just talking about you. Yeah, we'd love to have you up here, and it just worked out.
Definitely. Great woman. You know, Heather Monroe, she's been part of Freelance Underground as well. Kayla Cassidy, you had Shaz McKenzie come through. So that's always fun, right? When you get these, you know, top tier women talent that want to come back.
Yeah. Especially when Shaz was actually able to work for Underground. So that the two times that we had her booked, one we had to change the date and she was already booked elsewhere, and the other one, you know, the pandemic happened. So Shaz will be back around in October. You may or may not see her working with us.
And there's definitely a lot more I'd say like other females on our list that are, you know, we haven't even talked to yet, or just ones that, you know, we're like, okay, you know, they're, as soon as we can find a spot for them. I mean, we have a long list of people that we'd like to use in the future, and I don't think there's going to be any shortage of, you know, you seeing new talent popping up, you know, from show to show.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys have done, you know, a great job with the Freelance Underground. You have Calvin Tagman as the reigning champion, and you know, obviously this guy's getting a lot of attention nationwide. You know, the appearances at GCW and Collective, and I think he's probably going to be one of the marquee names in the next few years. What do you guys think?
He deserves it. He deserves it. If he does, he definitely deserves it. Tankman's got a great work ethic, great personality, humble guy. Definitely, he was definitely a great get for us because he wasn't being used in the Chicagoland area until we started using him. So, yeah, I hope. I mean, if he ended up signing somewhere where he wouldn't be able to work for us anymore, it would suck for us, but it'd be great for him. And, you know, we'd be thrilled for him. It would just be another spot where we'd have to find someone, hey, you know, who else is out there that could take over his spot and maybe be the next big name that ends up getting signed, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, definitely mad respect for Calvin Tankman.
Yeah, he's been great to deal with. Like, I mean, just incredibly easy to work with too. And he's a guy who doesn't like, he's gonna go out there and give like 100%, and that's what I like to see. Like, no matter, you know, if it's, you know, a huge show that's, you know, got 1,000 people in the seats, or, you know, you're looking at like a 50 to 100 person crowd, doesn't matter. Like, he's going to give you every ounce of, you know, what he's got for that night. And that's big to me. Like, I think that's important. Like, when you see guys like that, those are guys that are like gonna make it, you know, or, you know, they're going to just keep growing and getting bigger in the, you know, in the indie scene, and then just, you know, possibly, you know, to higher up places, because it's just that shows you that they love pro wrestling for pro wrestling. They're not just showing up to like just get their payday and go home. So we try to avoid people like that. So
Yeah.
And there are many like that, so just gotta be careful.
Yeah, definitely a passion that's, you know, that's really brewing in him, and glad to see it. Of course, you know, Iron Demon, Shane Mercer, one of the scariest I've ever seen walk through the Freelance Underground ring, or he is going to be there live. And, you know, we saw what he did to Craig Mitchell who is, you know, the baddest MFer in freelance. And so when Shane Mercer comes to town, it's going to be a whole different ball game, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, we're
Shane
expecting a
Mercer.
war.
You guys have froze on my screen.
Oh, well,
Uh-oh. He froze.
now James is frozen on my screen. Well, I guess I'll fill in till. Oh, are we
Yeah.
back? Okay.
I'm back, but feel free to fill in.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. I mean, basically, Mercer, you know, he's had the check. So, I mean, since when did he win the check? How long ago was that now?
Well, timeline wise, he won it in September.
Yeah, September. So apparently, right now is the time to pay off everything that occurred around September for both companies. Any long lasting storylines are getting worked out now. So yeah, basically, yeah, he's cashing that check finally. So, you know, we're gonna see. I mean, he's been on a tear, and I don't, you know, we'll see what happens. But I mean, that's a guy who you always see something different when he's in the ring. It's never. There's always some interesting, you know, new thing. And for a guy of his, you know, just size, you're always kind of amazed at what he can pull out. You know, his agility is a little bit better than most people, you know, of his size. So it's always interesting to see what exactly he can do and how strong he can do something in that way too.
Definitely. That's going to be an exciting match. I can't wait to see that. I think they're going to, like you said, it's going to be a war. I don't think it's going to be over after the match either.
Oh, well, you're making some interesting predictions here.
Yeah, I think something's got to give, and I think they have to up the ante for the next one if there is a next one if they survive. But that's going to be exciting. Anything else you want to talk about with the Freelance Underground card? Is this you know, big holiday weekend? You're looking to draw, you know, a lot of fans to come out to the venue. Obviously, the Kentingy post in Joliet.
Yeah, we have a earlier start time too. We switched that. We were previously starting at 7 p.m. Now we're starting at 6 in Joliet. We just thought because it's a all ages show. Plus, you know, due to the holiday weekend, you know, it might be better just to start just a tad bit earlier, just to, you know, either people can, you know, that have families can, you know, get home, get their kids to bed, or, you know, if they want to go catch fireworks, you know, we should be done, you know, before sundown, so they can, you know, still go catch some fireworks in the area. Yeah, it's different because Joliet compared to Thornton, compared to Itasca, compared to all the venues we've been to, it's like every venue has a different vibe, and like we're kind of still, Joliet's the one I think we're still trying to feel out the most.
Okay.
On just
the pandemic really threw a wrench into all the Joliet stuff, and here we are again having to rebuild the crowd. From 2019, 2020, now it's, you know, 2022. We're trying to get those people that were coming to those first 2 shows when we were in Joliet to try to get them back to like, hey, we're here again. You clearly liked us before, same show, come on out again, please. So yeah, like Kayla was saying, Joliet for sure is definitely one that we're still trying to figure out. We're trying to make that one more of a family friendly style show, where all of our other shows have been pretty much 21 and up. So, you know, language is usually relaxed and stuff like that, but we'll keep it tighter to make it more kid friendly as well. So, all right, sorry for cutting you off, Caleb. Go ahead.
Oh no.
No. I mean, that's pretty much what I was saying. We're just trying to figure out, you know, what, because I mean, every market's got a different, you know, kind of style. You know, it's I mean, Freelance obviously has developed a very distinct style that I think is different from almost all wrestling companies, at least in like pretty much the Midwest, I'd say. I don't think there's too many other companies that are even close to the the style that Freelance delivers and like what those fans want. So that's kind of our, you know, our focus is just figuring out, okay, what do the fans want here? Are these fans, you know, fans that want, you know, a bunch of, you know, wrestling matches? Are they fans that want a little more character, a little more entertainment? Like each venue, we try to figure out like what are the fans reacting to more so here than somewhere else, and then, you know, try and start gearing our shows more towards that aspect. Because I mean, we have a pretty diverse roster, I'd say, in terms of, you know, people that can do everything, but also, you know, like if we're going to bring in people, we want to bring in, and, you know, if we're going to spend money and bring someone in, we want to bring in the people that are right for each venue too. Right. So yeah, it's like I said, we're still trying to figure out a little bit of the kinks in Joliet, but I mean, I think we're, you know, the last show we had there, we definitely saw kind of where we need to start gearing the shows towards for those fans, and then just keep, you know, making those adjustments as we go along. I think that's the best thing you can do as a promoter, is like don't just book the show that you want to see, book the show that, like, you know, the fans want to see, and like make those adjustments so they have a better time, so they tell more people about your show. Because if you just keep running the same type of show and you don't notice that, well, maybe this person never gets a reaction, or maybe this, you know, this style of match just isn't what they like here, or whatever it may be, you know, just you have to make those changes, I think, if you want to be, you know, more successful. And then, you know, never become complacent with it either. Just keep moving forward.
Definitely. I'm excited because, you know, we got also Ruffro and you know, Yabo, the Freelance Underground Tag Team Champions, and they're on a heck of a run. You know, Frank, when they teamed up with Frank the Clown, you know, he's taking them to the next level. And so we're excited to see them back in action. You know, they took on VIF, Violence is Forever. Now they got another challenge in front of them as well.
Yeah, I think for some reason, Freelance is trying to revive the role of men in the managerial position. I mean, when you think about it, just the Freelance brand, you've got Frank the Clown. You may have someone else that's present in the chat right now that might be a managing. What's that?
You talking about Sean?
And I mean, even Trevor, to a degree, has been, you know, doing some management too. So it's like, I feel like there's very few managerial roles in wrestling now anyway.
Yeah.
You don't see it as often. And the fact that we have, you know, we also have numerous male managerial roles, I think, is like kind of harkens back to a little bit of the old, you know, WWE or WWF, whatever you want to call it, back then. And then even like WCW or NWA or, you know, Jim Crockett, where you had those, you know, those animated like managers. You didn't just, you know, have someone just at ringside just because, you know, you're like, well, I just got to put them with someone, like, you know, more of that, you know, Paulie Dangerously, Jimmy Hart, you know, just all the different character like managers of sorts that were out there. So it's interesting that, you know, I don't see it a lot on the indies as much, and I've noticed the Freelance brand has started to kind of reemerge that a bit.
Definitely. Hey, I'd love to be a manager in wrestling one day. So I like hearing that, man. I'd love to get under people's skin and not be play the nice guy anymore, you know?
until someone hits you, and then it's not fun anymore.
Facts.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw Frank the Clown, you know, he's got his share of lickings and keeps coming back.
I mean, James might get some shares of lickings too. Who knows?
Oh, yes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was trying to relay that onto me.
Yeah,
we all know we have the footage.
No elephant in the room at all right now. Not at all.
No.
It was someone that looked like James. Exactly. It was someone that reminded us of James. That was, you know, Pat Monix's Second.
Oh, Chico? You mean Chico?
There you go.
It was Chico who got slapped because he thought he was funny.
Yeah, I
And he
mean,
wasn't
that's,
funny.
oh, yeah, that's a fun match you have with Pick and Pop, Conrad, Joey Marks, and people aren't familiar with Conrad and Marks. I've seen them in another promotion doing their spiel a little bit, so they're classic.
They're underground
heels.
originals.
Yeah, exactly.
They're underground originals. Like
Yeah.
that's the whole thing about the Joliet building, is the fact
Mhm.
that it's about bringing in the underground originals to give them an opportunity to wrestle where they started. Like I
Right.
started in that Joliet building. Joey Marks
Mhm.
started in that Joliet building. Mason Conrad started in that building. So to have them as a part of the show, and to give them that opportunity to go back to where it all started, something that I was very all about. And thankfully Caleb backed me up on it. Was like, yeah, man, that's cool. Like he didn't really have much of an opinion, but he was very cool about it. And he didn't complain or tell me no. He kind of just was like, whatever, do what you think is best.
Definitely.
Right, Caleb?
Yeah, whatever you say. Okay.
See?
Yeah, I don't know if you heard of Simon Says. He's one of the managers out there, and he's recently partnered with a really big name wrestler named Jack Telos. He's like a huge guy, like 7 foot tall, and I'm just hearing good reviews about them lately.
Never heard of either of them.
Yeah, that one's not on my radar either.
Okay. Just thought I'd mention, we said the whole thing with the manager is dead, but it's still, I guess breathing lightly. Depends where we are.
It's still out there. I just
Yeah.
feel like it's kind of a lost art. It's one of those things where I think people, especially like you got to look like back, before you had a lot of, the female valet of sorts. Well, now, everyone just wants to wrestle. No one wants to just stand next to the ring usually. So it's a difficult role for a lot of people to fill well, because a lot of the people that, if they can't wrestle, then they're like, well, I guess I can be a referee, or I can be a manager, I can be something else. But then they're like, they begrudgingly kind of like take that role where they don't necessarily want to do it. So I feel like some of those people don't always put like their 100% into it, unless you like are going into it saying, yeah, I think I can be the best manager out there. I can be the best referee out there, or I can be the best ring announcer, or whatever it may be. Like, that's the attitude that I think some people like sometimes forget about. Like if you can't maybe cut as a wrestler, like find another avenue. There's so many other places, in the wrestling business that need, people that are strong in another role, that if you really give it your all, people will notice, people will see it, and it'll get out there. So I think that's one thing that the manager role is definitely a role that I think has definitely fallen to the wayside. It's so I like seeing it being cultivated a bit more, here and there.
Yeah, and then when you said about strong roles, right, or being strong in other roles in professional wrestling, look at Dan Perch as a referee, and even he's getting chants, and he's kind of really.
Dan Perch is a god that
Yeah.
deserves all the respect in this world.
Dan is a national treasure.
Don't you interrupt me when I'm speaking about Dan Perch. Perch deserves to have rose petals thrown at his feet and carried by 77 virgins. Okay, that man deserves the world. Okay, I'm good. You can interrupt me now.
Yeah, no, I if Dan Perch does not get signed in this lifetime, that is wrong. That's all. That is wrong. Like, that man at some point needs to be on TV working for a major company, because that guy is the most positive human being I've ever been around, and not like in a sickening way. Sometimes you'll be around people where it's like that fake, fake positive. Like, no, he is just genuinely happy to be everywhere he is. He's genuinely happy to wake up every day and just be breathing and be alive. And he just like he's infectious. Like you're just you love to be around him. Like you're happy to see him.
To call him an infection? Gee.
No, I did not. I think I see some heel James coming out again.
God. I don't know what you're talking about.
But no, like he and seriously, he learns. He always has like a little notepad with him that he's always taking notes about things. Like sometimes I'm always wondering, I'm like, what is he writing down right now? Because I'm like, I'll see him ref a match and I'll be like, he did just fine. And then I'll see him afterwards, like jotting stuff down. I'm like, I wonder what he's writing, because I didn't even see anything that he, could have improved on in that match. But he's very much like constantly being a student of everything, and is game to do like just whatever you ask him to, wants to be a part of anything and everything. And that's why I said, like, he's a guy that definitely should get signed. I mean, I would hope sooner than later, just because I could see him being a guy who could help a lot backstage with things, just doing, some of the more, the menial tasks that, like, booking travel, doing time stuff, just doing, like, he could do some of that stuff, and I think he would do it well, and he would enjoy doing it because it would just be a new challenge for him.
Definitely.
And he has there's no ego with him. Like, he just really wants to work and get better and just loves it. And like I said, that guy, he's he's slowly becoming like my favorite all-time referee in general, which will, I'm sure, slightly give a smirk to James when he hears that.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, he's the kind of guy you could drop your pets off for a week or a month. It'd be fine.
Well, as long as they can come to the shows with him that he's booked.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, I think he's fantastic, and you guys will have him featured at Freelance Underground and of course Freelance Press Start.
Yeah, no, he's great. And then I definitely think like you're always gonna see like a good at least in Underground. I'm trying to keep like the refs fresh there too, just with rotating the ones that we've been using and over the past few months, and just kind of just keeping like a steady rotation. So like we're trying to give as many refs a chance to get experience and work with our other talents there, and I think that's important. I know the referee role is not as paid attention to maybe by like the fans or something like that, but it's an appreciative thing that I like to give out to them, to be like, okay, I may not book this ref every show, but I'm just gonna keep trying to get them in here and there, just so they're always they're always welcome. I'm not trying to hit certain ones up, just we're just short ref, so you're our number 5 tier ref. It's like, no, I just like a steady rotation, I think, is good. And yeah, just helping everyone get experience and work with new people and make new connections.
For sure. And we are under 5 minutes before we get kicked off by Zoom.
Okay,
so we can always restart, Just
let
you guys
shoot out those hard-hitting questions now that you got to get answered.
Yeah, but then you'll have like one long answer, so I'll have to continue. But no, I'm loving it, guys. I love talking. What I wanted to get to is press start. Do you have anything you can announce on my show? Because I will not release this until it would be official, but you have anything?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm excited for it.
For Thursday night, I guess I'm excited for it too.
Yeah. There's a busy week of wrestling next week for sure.
Right. But the talent we can confirm, like, is there going to be world champion Storm Grayson? And
Storm Grayson will be there for sure. The Bang Brother. Yeah, I can tell you that Storm Grayson will be there. His opponent will be announced either tomorrow or maybe Monday. The Bang Bros will be there, so the tag titles will be represented. This show, our first show had 0 champions on it, if I recall correctly. So this one will actually have 2 out of the 3 champions of Freelance actually physically there defending their titles. So that'll be nice. Isaiah Velasquez will be there.
Okay.
He'll be wrestling. What else? That's all I could say right now.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. There's some great names right there, and we can't wait to see Press Start. Everybody, check it out. You get your tickets. We'll put the link in below the podcast for people to get their tickets. But if anybody didn't, what's like 3 words you can describe the Emporium? Give me 3 words each.
Three words that describe fun, fucking atmosphere. I'm dropping the F-bomb. That place is a fun effing atmosphere. Caleb,
I like
you're gonna make it out to this one
second time around. That was.
Are you gonna be able to? Are you gonna be able to make it out to this one?
Who are you asking?
You.
I
I already safely assumed Sean will be there.
I'll be.
Will
I
Sean
did
be
miss.
Oh, he did miss the first one. Don't miss the second one now.
Yeah, I made that mistake. I missed the first one.
But he's asking, will you be at this one?
I will be at this one. I guarantee.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought he was asking you.
Oh,
he was. He was
Yeah.
asking him.
I shifted it. I will try to be there. I'm having a little bit of a vehicle issue right now, so I will try to see if I can arrange something to get there. But I mean, I've been to the Emporium before. I was not present for the first show either, but from what I heard from everyone, that it was a really good time. I've been there, like I said, just on other nights. It's a great place. It's really fun. Three words. You stole one of mine. I was gonna say fun, so I'm just gonna say.
You want the other F word?
Freelance.
We have 1 minute. We have 1 minute.
Boy, I'll just say, here's my 3 words: Jepson's Malort shots. You can get them there.
Fair enough. My 3 words is video games, action.
That's 2 words.
Video
games is 2
action,
words.
that's it. Games, action, booze.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Simple, right? So I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get you back on so we can formally close out,
Okay.
The thoughts, because we only have a minute left and we're going to be kicked out. So let me just end this now and then we'll get us back on. And so best of luck, guys, with Press Start. Everybody get your tickets right now. I know it's not on the Freelance website, right? It's a cash drop.
No, cashdrop.biz/Emporium Chicago.
Awesome. And everybody, and if you haven't been to a wrestling show, look, there's video games, there's drinks, right? So you do expect to draw in new fans from these kind of events?
Hopefully, definitely, for sure. That's what we want, is to get more people to Logan Square Auditorium, but also helps us with a different venue. The staff at Emporium has been absolutely amazing to work with. Shout out to Julian. Julian's been the main guy that we've worked with. He's been a hell of a person to work with. So yeah, definitely. We would love to see more of the people, if they've only come to Emporium, show up at Logan Square. We would love to see people that only go to LSA show up at Emporium. More the merrier, always.
For sure. And I feel like on top of that, people like fighting games. Well, you're delivering a live action fighting game right in front of them in that ring.
For sure. Real quick, shout out to my boy B-Rob, who actually won the MK11 tournament at Emporium Wicker Park. So that was pretty cool to see this morning.
For sure.
Wow, Caleb, you could be a little bit more, animated.
I didn't know any of this. I was not. Did it happen today or yesterday?
Last night.
Or?
Last night. He won with the Mortal Kombat 11 tournament they had.
That's
so. Emporium's awesome. No matter what the location, obviously our favorite location currently is Logan Square. So.
And I'm going for the wrestling event. I think a lot of people will, but they'll find a lot of things to enjoy. There'll be a meet and greet with the fans as usual.
Oh yeah, absolutely. everybody will probably be more available after the show than before the show. So
Okay.
I'm safely assuming that Alley Catch and Effie will be roaming around doing their thing,
Yes.
talking to fans. Effie by far is one of the most approachable individuals I've ever met in my life.
Mhm.
I can't say enough great things about Effie.
Yeah, me neither. We've actually talked about doing a show. He's very busy, but he said he has a lot of nasty content he wants to share. Don't expect it to be anything but X-rated.
And also, if you go to the Emporium show, where else can you play video games with your favorite wrestlers?
Mhm. It's another good thing.
Yeah.
I know.
So there you go.
Don't play Trevor Outlaws. If you lose, you'll never hear the end of it.
Well, he'll probably cheat anyway.
Yeah,
So
he's a cheater.
That's if he's not banned from the building again.
Yes. And I wondered about that. And then there's a guy, like you said, manager. I mean, I feel like Trevor Outlaw could just stay a manager, just like with his, his suave and his, you know what I mean? His sophistication, the ways he can really manipulate the crowd.
I would never describe Trevor Outlaw as sophisticated.
Okay.
that is the weirdest loaded quote I think that I've heard ever. Is I'd like him to stay a manager with his suave and sophistication. I feel like you complimented him and insulted him at the same time, and I love it.
Yes, that's what I'm about, So yeah, look for him to probably berate me next time, but that's good old Trevor for you. And yeah, we appreciate you, man. Next time, maybe James, you can give us a full tour of your pop display and all that.
You ain't got the time for that. This one right here, that's just one. Actually, 2 cases. There's 9 more around my house. So.
Wow. Yes, I think I saw a Facebook post about that. So that's really cool.
Yes, nine more, and I just added a couple more signed ones. So.
Oh wow. Sweet.
And I can show you empty walls. That's all it is. So we're already done with the tour.
Just, hold up Shadow.
No, we're not involving Shadow.
Show him the record room.
The record room.
Yeah, with all the brown boxes with all the records in it.
Yeah.
You know how on TV shows, if they open a door, like the room's just snow falling down, and then they close it and they open it again and it's like the desert. Caleb has a room where you open the door and it's just nothing but mountains of stacked cardboard boxes. Yes. And then you close it and you open it again and it's still all the cardboard boxes.
Yeah, man. I can't really talk. I moved to my place a year ago. Still got to organize it. I'm waiting for all the memorabilia, like signed trunks and signed boots coming my way one day that I can hang up, probably display.
Yeah, hey, me too.
You got some signed Dickies from yourself, don't you?
Yeah, you should have the ref shirts up, like
Caleb. 1, 2, 3, Andy Long.
I thought your wall would have like all the Shimmer posters too, but I figured.
No, okay. Funny story about Shimmer items. I never got to leave shows barely with Shimmer items. I usually had them leaving the show, but then I would take the wrestlers to the airport and they would all be like, oh, I didn't get the DVD, or I didn't get the poster, or I didn't get the shirt, or whatever it was. And they would just rob my car of everything. They're like, well, you see Dave all the time. You can get it again. And then I would just end up not being able to get it, or I just would forget. So I lost a lot of the Shimmer items to the airport runs I was taking them on.
Just ask Dave for all the files and get them printed.
Good luck with that. Right? He's producing what? How many DVDs a year? Like 2 or 3? So
he's working hard at that. He's getting caught up. Things are going better now.
Yeah, for sure. But and that's the great thing with you guys. You have your library on, I believe, IWTV. So if you want to send a plug for that, or send a plug for the Freelance Wrestling Academy if anybody's watching and wants.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys are in charge of that or per se.
Not in charge, but definitely always willing to plug the Freelance Wrestling Academy. Head trainers are Isaiah Velasquez, Robert Anthony, and Kylie Ray. I mean, you can't get anything better than that. Way over 30 years of experience with them. I can't remember exactly how much, but Kylie's worked for NWA, AEW, Impact. Robert Anthony's worked for WWE. He's worked for AEW. He works for NWA. And then Isaiah Velasquez used to work for Chikara as a somebody. So these three trainers have definitely done things in wrestling. Can't get any better education locally than that.
And not only that, but also there's plenty of pop-ins from other people too.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
seminars
yes.
always occurring usually as well.
Yes, pop-in seminars. I mean, they just literally had maybe a 20-30 minute one-on-one with Will Ospreay. So impromptu one-on-one with Will Ospreay after his autograph signing. So you never know who might pop in. You never know who they're talking to possibly come in to be a guest trainer and for you to learn from. You just never know. I know Colt Cabana has been there a bunch of times. Simon Gotch has come through. I know that they've had other people. I just can't remember off the top. But Ethan Page has done a seminar or two before. So it's a great place to learn. It's a great trainers to learn from. It's not you get screamed at and you're doing 1,000 Hindu squats and 100,000 push-ups a day. You're actually learning how to wrestle. But in the end, it's not their job to make you learn. It's your job to learn. So they may take it a little bit easier on you than other schools may, but it's your opportunity to learn, not their opportunity to learn.
For sure. And Ali is a big part of that, I'm sure, as well.
Ali swings through every now and again. When he was on his sabbatical, he was there quite a bit. He was posting videos with a lot of the trainees that are already working. So you never know. Yes, for sure. So yeah, I just want to give you guys a chance to plug that and plug what else you'd like to with IWTV. If you want to plug IWTV. Oh, easy. IWTV.live or independentwrestling.tv. Our whole library is there. Freelance Wrestling's whole library is there. A bunch of other companies' libraries there for $9.99 a month. You can't ask for anything better. They do live streaming of events, and you get it all for $9.99 a month, and then you get the library. You always have it. It's definitely worth the money. Definitely worth the money. And obviously, tune in to Freelance Wrestling, Freelance Underground every show, so that they can see that we're of value as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I try to rewatch the shows even if I've been there. Just to see everything again.
And then also
watch a whole bunch of the old stuff. You never know what referee you might find down there too.
I will.
Much younger, less facial hair.
Yes.
You referee, James? I didn't know that.
Not me. I mean, come on. I know he's not the most popular person in the world, but it's got a lot, if not the whole IWA Mid-South library on there. And I mean, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, CM Punk, Dave Prazak, Chris Hero. I mean, the who's who of independent wrestling that came through IWA Mid-South is all on there. I actually, a couple months ago, watched the Eddie Guerrero and CM Punk match, where I saw for the first time that Dave Prazak matched Punk with the blonde hair, which I never knew before that moment.
Nice. And now you mentioned that, it was another question that I probably should have asked you earlier, but that opens up a whole nother can of worms.
What's that? What's that question?
Your opinion about the IWA thing that happened recently?
I have no opinion on it whatsoever.
Hey, you brought it up.
Good luck to the talent.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
they had some good talent.
I do. I have an opinion on it. Yes. Should I share it? Probably not.
Right.
Let's put it this way. Karma exists. That's that.
Yeah.
You know, there's, yeah, I mean, I hope the talent gets paid. I hope the fans get their money back. I hope all of that occurs.
That's the big thing.
But
That's the big thing. You know, that the people that were paying to see these shows that got canceled, unfortunately, for whatever reason they were canceled. Hope they get their money back.
Yes, same here.
yeah, it's unfortunately with Ian, it's been a poor track record in the past too. This isn't the first time. So hopefully everybody learns their lessons, including Ian, on this matter, and just,
Yeah.
you know, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
For sure. We'll leave it at that. I appreciate you guys. Again, Pro Wrestling Enforcer, and when I get some shirts made again, just let me know the sizes. I'll get you guys some shirts.
As long as it's black and not white, I'm down for a shirt.
It's black.
White. If it's black, as long as it's black, I'm in for a shirt. If it's a white shirt, forget it. It's gonna be dirty the minute it touches my hands.
I learned that lesson the hard way.
I have a poor track record with white t-shirts.
I know. I know. You should see my CM Punk shirt from 2011.
I actually still have mine, and it's still in good condition. I think it's just faded a little bit.
Nice.
I think that's the only white shirt that I've been able to maintain not getting stained.
I think I have a CM Punk shirt from what, 2000. So that is white. It's probably worth something, I'm gonna gather.
Yes, for sure, man. And definitely looking forward to the show. So I'll see you guys next weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, say hello. We're not shy.
No, not at all.
Except don't say hello to me till after the show, because before the show I'm a ball of nerves.
I hear you. No worries. Sounds good, guys. I'll talk to you later. Have a good night and good luck with the events.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
Take care. Pro Wrestling Enforcer, we're out. Bye.